thanks for staying with us. The Acting Controller General of Customs has said that the management will also support the policies of the federal government. Also on Customs reports, Lekki Customs Command commended the operators at the zone. Plus, more reports. I am Igiseme Itinye. Stay tuned. The Customs Area Controller in charge of Lekki Command and her team has welcomed the CG of Nigerian Customs Service to the command. He was received by the Customs Area Controller, who briefed the CG on happenings in the command.
Reported on the 17th of February last year, so it should, by today, it should be about roughly 1.5 years. And when we came, we started with just about 5 officers, and after 2 weeks, we grew to 7 officers. And today, we're about 114. The command itself is divided into 12 zones. We have 5 zones within this axis, and we have 7 zones within the Lagos axis. The 5 zones we have here is the Lagos Free Trade Zone. Lagos Free Trade Zone are our hosts. When we came, we were looking for where to start the command, and they were willing to give us this space. And for some time, I was with them in their CHQ. When we leave this place, the next place we'll go, sir. I was with them in their CHQ, and we grew up this place, and they helped us to construct it, and today we are here.
According to him, the management will always support the operators and the command to make sure that things are cleared immediately. The contractor, of course, has this to say to the Lekki Command.
Listening to the CSC, you have the impression that she has the command, in her fingertips. She is very versatile. She knows the operation of the command right from its inception. And that's why she's so much at home, telling us about the command, its activities, its challenges, and all of that. This will not be the time for us to do post-clearance audits of the revenue figures that you mentioned. If we have a situation where the place is called a free zone on one side, and you are declaring revenue on the other side, we might want to ask, okay, so which side of it is not free? And did we actually get what we were supposed to get? Can we have strategies that will make us get more? Anyway, the concept of free zone, as most customs officers will understand, is something that promises the country a number of benefits in terms of foreign investments, in terms of provision of jobs, in terms of creating foreign exchange, and of course, transfer of skills and technology to Nigerians. If we are achieving all of these objectives in the free zone, then we can say the purpose for which it was set up is there. I would defer my gratitude to the drivers of this free zone until when we meet them. I was here about 5-6 years ago, and I know that there has been a very, very significant transformation that has occurred here. It is left for us as customs officers to key into the vision and to ensure that the objectives of selling the free zone are realized.
The PTLM command also welcomed the CG with his entourage at the port. He was honored with the quarter guard of the command.
Address, may I have your permission to dismiss the parade, sir?
Thank you very much. Carry on.
The controller said that the command will always continue to implement measures that will help importers and agents to clear their goods within a very short time.
Pleasure for all of us to have you among our midst. PTML, as we know, is a roll-on, roll-off port. Is a model port where basically we deal with, majorly, we deal with vehicles, either RoRo or containerized. Then we deal somehow with cargoes as well, other cargoes that come in. So we have, we've been working very closely with other agencies to ensure that we keep in line with modern day practices. We work very closely with the terminal operators as well to ensure that the laws guiding inflow and outflow of goods are strictly adhered to.
The acting contractor, of course, also said that the service will always provide adequate atmosphere for traders in the area to operate effectively.
This terminal was created around 2006. Now, in the CAC's office, we saw generations of customs controllers who come, they do their bits, they go. But these people have remained here since then. They've been doing their business. So ideally, they are our hosts. And when we talk about partnership, strategic partnerships, they should actually be our number one partners. Because whether we or not, people will go, but they are the real barracks that will remain when officers come. But we are not just saying this because we are not happy. We are also happy because all these people, when they come and leave this place, most of the time, they go to take on higher responsibilities. And I'm sure one or two faces must be familiar here. This big man who used to pursue smugglers, who used to pursue car importers and asking them to get the right value for their cars. Second, strategic partners are the other agencies of government, and I'm quite happy to also see you turn out in this number to our delegation. Several times I hear the promoters of the ports call this place a model port. I've heard the CAC also said it a number of times. So if this is a model port, I would expect a kind of a model synergy between all the agencies that are working in these ports. Whatever is happening between the agencies that are here should be a kind of model that we can export to other places and people can adopt, and learn from. I want to believe that it is a very good working relationship we have with them. And in turn, all of us collectively must also have this kind of translate to good working relationship with our hosts. This is a very good investment, and you don't find this kind of investment in many places that you go. We have some ports very close by here, which have also been concession. We have them scattered all over the country. There are only very few places where you see of facilities that's been put to our disposal. So we hold them the obligations to work very, very closely with them, to synergize with them. We know that the motive for doing this is business.
We now conclude the interview we had with the acting president of ANACA in Lagos about the newly appointed acting Contractor General of Nigerian Customs Service.
Appointment of a CGC of Customs, the new CGC of Customs, particularly giving it to a proper officer in line with the amended SEMA, is a round peg in a round hole. I have known the acting CGC in the last 20-something years, and he has added value to the system. And this is somebody who has gone through a lot of local and international training. Talking about trade facilitation, he knows what it means. So I am delighted that he's the one that has been appointed as the CGC of Customs, because I know that very soon everything will be turned around for good. The first thing I will tell him is what he has actually embarked on. Nobody has told him that. That will tell you somebody who knows the job. That is sensitization and familiarization, which is doing right away. Let him familiarize himself with all the commands under his control and go around the country so that he will know what has actually happened in the last 8 years, how bad the system has been compared to when he was in National Public Officer of the Service. And I also said he should make himself accessible, and he should be the CG of all. And above all, he needs to preach more on facilitation of trade. And also look at the various units of Nigerian Customs Service vis-a-vis the fact that some of the units, or many of the units, want to encroach on the job of valuation, so that everybody should do his work according to what is spelled out in his unit. These are my advice for him. And I know that if he does that, it will go a long way in bringing back the confidence to the trading community, the stakeholders, and we, the custom brokers. While going around, he met the stakeholders at Papa Command, where he spoke to us and assured us that going forward, his doors are open and he's going to actually collaborate with stakeholders. The issue of collaboration is a keyword in line with WCO 2013 yearbook that says every customs administration must collaborate with their stakeholders, particularly the critical stakeholders, that is licensed custom agents.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The newly constituted management of Nigerian Customs Service has been decorated by the Acting Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service in Abuja. The acting secretary said that the new management is in line with the directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He speaks more on the new management.
As it is often said, once we get this kind of recognition, it is a call to higher responsibility. It is a call for more dedication. It is a call for more commitment to the service of our organization. You are all aware that this appointment was made by the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. What it shows is that there is a recognition of the fact that some officers are toiling, they are doing their best to enhance the glory of the service. They are paying their dues to enhance the development of the service, and they are doing their best to ensure that we earn the revenue, we generate the revenue necessary for development of our nation. This is a recognition of your past effort. However, we know that there is high expectations from the Nigeria Customs Service, especially at this period of economic depression. We know that there is so much that the customs can do to reinvigorate the economy, to create more impetus and drive economic activities nationwide. This promotion, therefore, is a call for better, for more hard work, more dedication, more commitment on the part of all our officers. As I've said several times before, customs officers now need to live to the ideals of our names. We should live up to the expectation, what the society expects of us. We are supposed to be offering service. We are supposed to be upfront in offering service to our nation.
He later decorated the new management with the new ranks, while one of them has this to say.
I will start by giving special thanks to God Almighty, who has manifested himself mightily in our lives and made this day a reality. Our perfect gratitude goes to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who has graciously found us worthy to be appointed into our respective positions. Also, our special appreciation goes to the Acting Controller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, on whose recommendation our appointments were made possible. Thank you and God bless you, sir.
controller in charge of Tinkan Customs Command has officially welcomed the cadets of the Customs Training College in his command. The commandant of the training school said that the cadets will further understand the working of the customs at the port.
Fortunately for me, they are my seniors and they are people that I've known for over 2 decades. We've been wonderful friends. And our coming to Tinkan is like coming back home. I've been tutored by the area commander at different fora. He has mentored me, he has tutored me. It's a seasoned administrator. For us, it's a homecoming. And all the deputy controllers in charge of various terminals, they are wonderful, they are awesome. They are technocrats. I'm satisfied, I'm happy. You can see from the faces of the cadets. And I can tell you for the past 7 hours with Jara, but I've been with the DCs. We've been moving from one terminal to the other. They are just doing it. They are happy, adding value. And I know them for that. They are people that love bringing up people, mentoring people. And I'm not surprised with what I've seen today.
The Tinkan Customs Area Controller briefed the cadets on the operation of the customs at Tinkan Customs Command.
Comfortable. I am very, 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 very comfortable. Because what I have seen in the cadets is what we have been looking forward to see. How we can give these cadets good understanding of the job. Not just train them in the classroom, but bring them out to see, to have a taste, a practical knowledge of what we do or what they are expected to do when they leave the college as custom officers. They boarded one of the largest vessels, MSC Marine. It's a good experience for the cadets. At least they will know they have had a one-on-one experience on what happens on board a vessel. They were taken around the vessel. This has never happened in a long time for cadets. And from the feelers from outside, I was told they asked very cogent questions from my lieutenants, and they were given good answers to these questions. And when they came back after the whole exercise, they also asked me questions, which shows while they were on tour, they had something to learn. It's power. And it's not a static indices. It is something, even while the cadets were here, I had some new DCs posted to the command undergoing training. Because the world is a continuum. There's no static, there's not anything we call static in education. So going forward, I will encourage the service to build this kind of stuff, tour into the curriculum, just as it has been introduced by the commandant of the college. These are innovations that the commandant of the college is bringing into the curriculum of the college. And I'm so impressed, and I thank you for doing this, and I also advise him to keep it up. He should be able to leave a legacy, because he won't be there forever. But this legacy, he has written his name in gold, because this is the maiden in that college. This is the maiden study tour.
The cadets visited various units of the port to know how the Tinkan Customs Command operates and generates revenue for the country. The Federal Operation Unit Zone A has accepted bulletproof jackets, pistol bags, and jackknives from smugglers. The acting controller also said that the unit also seized cannabis worth millions of naira along Benin Ore Road.
It was neatly concealed. You know, like the commander NDLA just said, it's quite a recurring decimal. And there's virtually no month we come out for press briefing that we do not display this. It shows the extent at which the extent to which we are desirous to carry out that wondrous task of ensuring that illicit items do not find their way into Nigeria. On behalf of the Comptroller General of Customs, I am handing over 14,015 parcels, equivalent to 7,728 kilograms of cannabis sativa with 3 suspects.
No one can fight this drug surge alone. It's an onerous task that all stakeholders must join out to find. The synergy between security agencies towards removing not only drugs, but every security dangers and risk to the citizens of Nigeria is an onerous task that all hands must be on deck to fight.
The unit made 50 seizures worth over 462 million naira of assorted goods. The seized seizures include bags of foreign rice, cucumber vehicles, 49 cartons of children's school shoes,
357 kegs by 5 liters of vegetable oil, 1 unit of Honda motorcycle that was imported into Nigeria under very spurious circumstances that we are still investigating, 2 used cucumber vehicles. A total duty paid value, DPV, of the seized goods stood at 462,708,875 naira, while the sum of 66,493,346 naira 41 kobo was recovered as revenue into the Federation account through the issuance of demand notices on custom duties that were discovered to be underpaid. 13 suspects were arrested in connection with some of the seizures and are at different stages of investigations and prosecution. I will also hand over 3 suspects and cannabis sativa with a net weight of 7,728 kilograms to officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Lagos State Command, for further investigation and prosecution. This is aimed at discouraging the business of smuggling because it is capable of destroying our economy and could adversely affect our living standards. The criminal business of smuggling mainly favors only a selfish few who do not mean well for the country.
A total of 13 suspects were arrested in connection with the seizures, while the seized cannabis were handed over to NDLA officials in Lagos. He warned some Nigerians against smuggling drugs into the country. Just before round of this week's edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where the acting Controller General of Customs officially inaugurated the new management of Nigerian Customs Service in Abuja. For me, Igiseme Etinye, thanks for watching.